think I'm a very traditional breeder, and I think I'm from the earliest school that they say that you have to learn to listen to the plants. We are in the Yaqui Valley in the experimental station of its name Norman E. Borlaug. This trial is called our heat trial, or late planted trial, and that's just we try to evaluate lines that will perform better than checks in those conditions, under those conditions, because the cycle is reduced about 45 days, from about 135 to about 90 days. That's the length of the cycle. So with that, that means that the crop will grow with higher temperatures. Night temperatures and day temperatures will be higher during the whole cycle. So that makes hard conditions for the plant to grow and have flowering and then fill the grains on a shorter time. What you're trying to put together is, or you imagine that in every cross you will get something better than both parents, no? But that's part of the guess or the imagination or the dreams, whatever you can call it. But for me, that's where the fun starts. No, you have to bring out new sources of variation constantly to be able to move ahead. No? Either new sources for rust resistance or new genes that will contribute to yield. So all that has to be put back, and that's part of the. I call it our crossing block is a box of dreams, no? Because you have two lines that will be crossing, and you're expecting to get out something good out of those crosses, no? And that's the start. And if you have good selection of parents in that, then that means that the probability is that you're gonna succeed on what you're targeting. Normally in the breeding program we have 5 main targets that we have to have in each one of the lines that are sent out in international nurseries. One is yield potential and yield stability. Second one would be rust resistance. The third one would be heat tolerance. Fourth one would be drought tolerance, and the fifth one would be industrial processing quality. Those 5 traits have to be present in every line that we send out from CIMMYT. In breeding, it's numbers game. If you have a big difference or a need of many different traits to put in a single line, that's what's important. If you have to look at many different lines. But that's part of the challenge of breeding. You have to get something better every time than the previous one. And that's what we're trying to do for the different environments that we are trying to target. Hidden Valley, it takes about 8 years from the time you make the cross to the time you can release a variety. Normally, by year 4 or 5, depends on the cross path that we use. If it is a single cross or a top cross, it could take between 4 and 5 years to get to the first year of testing. Then we have second year of testing. Then to be released here in Mexico, you need the information or data from 3 years. So that makes about 8 years. But as we've heard yesterday, there are places where the release of variety might take, from the time we made the crosses to the time it is released, it's about 18 years. So that's something that has to be reduced, pushed to a shorter time. What we try to do always is try to get out the best out of each one of the varieties or hybrids that you're planting, no? And I think that's part of the challenge on increasing food production. First is try to improve the production systems in many parts of the world, even if it is a very small farmer. What can either governments or us as scientists can give them to try to improve just by maybe adding a little bit of fertilizer or watering on time or whatever is needed to have a higher yields.